Hi guys, and welcome back to Thumpstar. Today we have an assembly video for you. This here is going to be on a TSX140. However, it's going to be quite a similar procedure for several other of the motorcycles. The first thing you want to do is remove the box and expose the frame and the motorcycle itself. So we'll just do that now. So here we have the frame and the motorcycle exposed under the cardboard. What we're going to do next is we're just going to cut some of these zip ties off and just free up some of these components here, the front wheel, shock absorbers, spare parts, box, etc. There might be some slight variations in other models, but they should all be pretty similar. So let's get into that now. So here we have the parts that you'll remove from the box before we proceed any further. We've got things like the linkage, the front wheel guard, the number plate, spare parts box, there and there, pegs, bar clamps, axle, fuel cap, side stand, shock absorbers, and the rear mud flap. What we're going to do next is we're just going to free the top clamps from the crate. So just going to snip that in there, free that up so that we can remove the top part of the crate from the bike. So once that wire is free, we then will be able to undo all the lower bolts on the frame, and we'll be able to lift this whole frame off in one go. So we'll get into that now. So with all those lower bolts removed, we can now remove the top of the crate, exposing the bike. It's at this point, the next step you're going to want to do is probably actually remove the bike from the frame altogether. And what you're going to do is have to cut this wire that locks in the rear wheel, and that should be all on this particular model. On other models, the front axle may be locked into the frame, and you'll have to remove that axle to remove the bike from the frame. So now that you've got the motorcycle on the stand, you're going to have to free up the bars on this side, the handlebars, and on the other side you've got the same thing with the brake caliper tucked in on the side of the frame there. So you just unzip tie that and work him out. And we just want to kind of lay this stuff out roughly, ready for the way it's going to be. Okay, so the next step is you're going to want to put your handlebars in place using your handlebar mounts, using the supplied bolts and nuts. We want to route those so that the clutch cable goes in behind the number plate bracket, then underneath through the little holder, and the kill switch as well behind the number plate bracket, and then nicely back that way. We're going to grab the clutch cable, we're going to bring that up under the brake, and we're going to put that also behind the number plate bracket. You might just have to bend that forward just a pinch to get that through, and then that will sit nicely through there, and you can attach that onto the clutch lever. So here we are guys with the bars now beginning to be put into place. You want to torque that up to 12.8 foot-pounds, and then you want to use your supplied paint marker to just mark those bolts, just so you can know if they have moved at all while you've been riding. Just like so. So after we have put those bars on, we're now going to go to the shock absorbers. You can recognize your left-hand shock absorber by the brake line mount that it has on it. And we're going to tighten these up to 12.8 foot-pounds on the top and 12 foot-pounds on the bottom. So there we have that nice click on the torque wrench. Once again, paint marker just for preventative maintenance, and you're off and racing. Next along, we're going to install the front wheel axle and the disc guard. That's all going to go in one. There we can see the lubrication that you're going to have, put a bit of grease on that axle, and we also have the spacer that's going to go into the other side, as we have a built-in spacer on the disc brake cover. Here we have the axle just been slid through the forks. Just going to torque that front wheel axle bolt up to 40 foot-pounds. And there's the click. Add a dab of paint marker just for safety, and the front wheel is sorted there. Next step, we're going to fit the front brake caliper, little dab of Loctite on those nuts there, on those bolts, sorry. And the way that you want to route your brake is through the inside of the fork there to stop the possibility of that brake line getting caught on the outside. So we just line that up with the two bolts. And we're going to torque those two brake caliper bolts up to 12 foot-pounds. And once again, nice little dab of paint marker on there. Just like that. Lastly, the brake line just needs to be routed through the little bracket there. And that will finish up your front brake assembly. The next stage here is to put the front wheel guard on. That's going to be secured by 3 bolts underneath. Quite simply just screwed into the appropriate spots, like so. After you have secured the front wheel guard, you'll take your front number plate and you're going to secure that with the 2 holes there on the bottom over the 2 little nipples on the wheel guard. Then you'll also want to put your brake line through the little recess there on the headlight, on the front guard. The front number plate is then secured in place by 2 bolts over the top, as we can see there. Very simple. The next stage is to install your suspension linkage. This is going to go underneath the swing arm and attach to the swing arm and the shock absorber. So here we can see the underside of the bike, and the 3 points we're going to join up are going to be the center of the linkage here with the bottom of the shock absorber, the back of the linkage with the back of the swing arm, and the front of the linkage into the front of the frame of the bike. It's important to remember that these 2 collars need to be placed in between the center of the linkage and the bottom of the shock absorber there, just to take up the clearance. So we're just going to torque the shock to linkage bolt first. We're going to do 20 foot-pounds there. The next bolt we are going to secure is the swing arm to linkage bolt. That's now been installed, and we're just going to torque that one up. And what's the setting on that one, Shawnee? 31 foot-pounds for that one. The third and final bolt at the back where it goes into the frame of the bike, you aren't going to be able to get a torque wrench in there, so that one's just going to have to be done up fairly tight. And as we've done before, just a dab of paint marker on there for safety. The next stage is to secure the rear mudguard to the undertail there. Simply done by using the 2 supplied nuts and bolts, and the included collars on those as well to secure those in. The next thing we're going to do is install the side stand, which also has the left-hand peg mount. A little bit of Loctite on those bolts just for safety. side stand locates in the center and the bolts go either side. So once you have fitted the side stand in, the peg will be the next thing to go in. You're going to have to take your spring that you've been supplied with. It's going to sit on the peg just as you can see here, and then you're going to sit that in just like so. Put the pin through the back, and the split pin is going to go through the back end to secure it. And then you just bend the ends of the split pin over to prevent it from coming out. Simple. Make sure your peg returns just like so, and the peg on the left and the side stand are complete. Fitment of the right hand peg is exactly the same. Same with the spring, same with the pin, and the same with the clip on the end. Towards the end of the installation of all the parts, here we have the fuel cap and the bar pad, which we're just going to install. They're very easy to install. So here we have the final installation of the bar pad that just gets attached, and then the Velcro sections just wrap around under the bottom, and the fuel cap is just screwed on, and then the tube inserted into the headstock there. Engine oil check next. There we are. Remove the dipstick and check that you have got oil. There we are. It's also worth checking your brake fluid reservoir is filled, and the same for the rear reservoir. Throttle free play can be adjusted here with that ring adjuster. We're looking for just a small amount of free play there in the throttle, as we can see. And the adjustment there also with the lock nut section. Adjustment of the clutch lever can be done just the same with that ring adjustment. We're looking for just a small amount of free play there. You don't want them totally bound up. Check your chain tension isn't too tight, and the wheel can spin freely. So it's worth now just testing that your brakes are functioning nicely, just like that for the front, and same thing again for the rear. Everything should be working just like that. Put a bit of fuel in the bike because we're shortly going to kick over the engine, and also at this point you're probably going to want to take off all these protective stickers, especially the one on the exhaust, which is actually around both sides of the exhaust, all over the bike. Prepare it to be delivered or to be ridden, and also tyre pressure check. 15 for the rear is nice, and around the same for the front. So your bike at this point should be looking something along these lines. And once you've fueled up, be sure your fuel is in the on position. Removal of the side panel here is going to give you access to the air filter, which needs to be oiled. So here we have our freshly oiled air filter. That's just going to go straight back into those two clips the way that it came out. Very simple design there. The panel just goes on in the reverse process of which you took it off. As we say, 2 bolts will secure that. So by this point, your bike should look something like this. This one's now pretty much ready to go. If it's a cold country you're in, you might want to pull the choke on. The choke on this model is just underneath here, and it is pulled on and off just like that. Here in Western Australia, we're in the middle of a nice hot summer, so we're not going to use the choke to start this bike right now. but Shawnee's just going to give it a kick and we're going to see how she goes. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this assembly video is going to help you get your bike together. As we said, this is a TSX140. However, the procedure is very similar for a lot of the Thumpstar models. And as we say, thanks for watching and happy riding, guys.